I am live. I am not dead. How's everybody doing? Good to see you all. If you're hearing this message, I hope it finds you well. Stuff there. Get out the way. Get out the way. All right. So I'm going to try out a little idea today. What do you think? You want me to try out a little idea? Huh? Let's say yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is just me reading the Substack newsletter. I don't know. This is probably a bad idea. I'm going to try it this way. Here we go. This is the Daily Tech Newsletter for September 10th, 2024. We'll tell you what you need to know, follow up on the context of the stories, and help each other understand. I'm Tom Merritt. Let's start with the big story. In addition to the announcement of the iPhone 16, Apple Watch Series 10, and AirPods 4 during its video announcement Monday, Apple also separately released the dates for its operating system updates. These are the ones they announced back at WWDC in June. These follow the pattern of iOS updates coming for existing users a few days before the new phones ship, so those new phones can come with the new operating system. The phones are shipping on September 20th. When do we get the operating systems? Well, another nice thing about this year's announcements is they're all coming at once. iOS 18, iPadOS 18, macOS Sequoia, watchOS 11, and tvOS 18, all coming Monday, September 16th. So you can order your new phone or your new phone on Friday the 13th, update your old phone to the new OS September 16th, and then get your new phone on September 20th. 4 days to play with the OS. Friday the 13th. That just struck me. The Apple Intelligence rollout, however, is a little more confusing. Apple Intelligence will come with its first features in October as part of iOS 18.1, iPadOS 18.1, and macOS Sequoia 15.1. These features come to everyone. The features are in beta. That's so you don't have to be using the beta operating system to get them. You'll get them, but they're not fully formed yet. And you can tell because beta OS users already have a bunch of these things. Apple Intelligence will work for users of the iPhone 15 Pro, both models, as well as all of the iPhone 16 models. Now, Apple didn't make it clear what features are going to launch first. They were a little vague about that, only saying the 18.1 features will launch in U.S. English only when you talk to Apple Intelligence. However, the features in the iOS beta right now are notification summaries, email summaries, reduce interruptions focus, and cleanup in image editing and photos. So it's a fair bet that probably most of those are going to arrive in 18.1. Additionally, Apple Intelligence features will arrive in the 18.2 update by the end of the year, so you'll get more than that. You'll probably see them show up in the beta operating system, and then they'll show up in 18.2. And as they mentioned in the announcement yesterday, localized versions of Apple Intelligence for Australia, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, and the UK will arrive in December. Chinese, French, Japanese, Spanish, and possibly some other languages will come next year. DTNS is made possible by you, the subscriber. Thank you, subscribers of the Daily Tech Newsletter. There's more we need to know today. Let's get to the briefs. Okay, so I sent the notes on all the announcements yesterday, but here's my take on Apple. Everybody always thinks Apple is disappointing, and then they go and buy all their stuff. It's because we want mind-blowing announcements and rarely get them, but a lot of folks still like their things. After thinking about these announcements for a day, though, I think the iPhone in particular is maybe a bit more disappointing than usual. I don't think Apple made the case why you need to get a new phone to get Apple Intelligence. In fact, I think a lot of older iPhone users think they're going to get it. I wonder if that will cause a delayed boom in iPhone 16 sales when they realize they don't. But the assumption that everybody gets all the software upgrades along with the fact that they don't come until next month and even then aren't particularly mind-blowing means most people, including myself, will probably find that their current iPhone 14 or even iPhone 13 or 12 is just fine. Now, the watch is a decent announcement, and more people hang on to these for longer, so the cumulative upgrades over the years make them more compelling. I feel the pull for Series 10, even though I have a Series 7, works just fine. And the AirPods getting a lot of the Pro features, I think will sway some folks as well, especially somebody looking for new earbuds. But in the end, none of these were the kind of thing that gets people buzzing. I don't think that's deadly for Apple, but it does mean they need to adjust their messaging more and hope that they can capture a new market soon, even if it's just foldables. In 2016, the European Commission ruled that Ireland had illegally given Apple tax benefits and ordered Apple to pay Ireland 13 billion euros in back taxes. Now, Apple and Ireland, even though Ireland was getting the money, argued that it had properly accounted for income in the U.S. and paid taxes there. And to subject that income to European tax was double taxation. At issue were profits generated from the intellectual property licenses held by Apple's international and European arms. Well, Monday, the European Court of Justice disagreed and ordered funds held in escrow during the case to be released to Ireland. European Court of Justice was busy, too. It also upheld a 2.4 billion euro EU competition fine against Google for abusing its market power by ranking its shopping service over rivals. The fine resulted from the investigation by the European Commission that concluded in 2017. So this one took 7 years to work through the courts. The Apple one took 8 years. This is what I mean when I talk about these court decisions could take years to reach a conclusion and finally arrive with a final decision. In both these cases, the Google and the Apple one, the tech companies lost, but they also had most of a decade to prepare to pay the fines. Following Apple's announcement, Huawei officially launched its dual-hinged three-screen dual-hinged foldable called the Mate XT Ultimate Design. Prices start at 19,999 yuan. That's around $2,800 US. That's more than a MacBook in most cases. The hinge folds in a Z shape, kind of like a trifold wallet, but not really. It's not a W shape. It's a Z shape. The outer screen is 6.4 inches when fully folded up. If you fold it or unfold it fully flat, it's 10.2 inches. And a partial fold, you keep one flap back, gives you a 7.9 inch screen. This is a unique form factor, and I'm not sure what its best use cases are, but it can give you more options than a simple book fold or flip fold will. During a short technical presentation on Tuesday, Sony officially announced the PlayStation 5 Pro console. Sony says it has a bigger graphics processor, supports advanced ray tracing, and PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. That's similar to NVIDIA's DLSS or AMD's FSR. Sony says it's going to be 45% faster at rendering and that it should make it so that players don't have to choose between performance and video quality. Looks-wise, it does have those 3 stripes down the side to distinguish it from the other PS5 models. It does not appear to have a disc tray. PS5 Pro will launch November 7th for $700. Well, as we mentioned on Good Day Internet yesterday, James Earl Jones died Monday at the age of 93. Jones portrayed many enduring roles. He was Alex Haley in Roots, Admiral Greer in The Hunt for Red October, Terrence Mann in The Field of Dreams, Mufasa in The Lion King, but he will almost certainly be best remembered as the voice of Darth Vader and probably continue to be the voice of Darth Vader. Jones licensed his voice to be used to train a model from Ukrainian company Rescene in Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We covered that story in 2022. It's not absolutely certain from public reports that those rights include postmortem uses, but it appears that they do. I assume we'll find out soon enough. But it is the first situation where an actor, while alive, authorized his voice to be used to train a model to perform in his place, and with consent, possibly continue to perform after his death. A lot of people are going to be bothered by this. There's a lot of emotion about whether a voice should continue in synthesis after the actual person is gone. But think about it. How different is this from a recorded work? We're used to those, so those don't creep us out. But at one time, the idea that you could hear a person's voice after they were dead was incredibly creepy. I suspect we'll get used to this idea soon enough, or at least our children will, and this debate is mostly going to be about consent. Research from the UK's communications regulator Ofcom indicates that adult consumers get their news online 71% of the time versus from TV 70% of the time. That makes online more popular than TV for news for the first time in the UK. Among the new features Amazon's going to show to viewers of Thursday night NFL games this season are alerts driven by predictive algorithms. Now, last season, Amazon had something called defensive alerts that identified the movements of defensive players prior to the start of play in order to predict who might make a run at the quarterback. This season, we're getting more of that. Amazon's going to add pressure alerts. These will try to predict, based on position, what defensive players are likely to do both in the backfield and on the line. Coverage ID will try to identify the defensive formation in real time before the play starts to kind of give an indication of what the defense is going to do. Amazon is partnering with NFL to collect more than 500 million data points each season. It uses these to train these models and then uses computer vision to interpret what's happening in real time and make the predictions. Korean music label and agency SM Entertainment has launched a virtual artist named Novice. It's not the first virtual artist. There's Hatsune Miku, the Gorillaz, Plave, but all of those use humans to do the singings. Novice's voice is virtually generated. Of course, there's a visually generated music video with her in it as well. SM plans to also offer webtoons, games, merchandise, and brand collaborations leveraging AI voice technology and generative AI-produced content. Novice previously featured on aespa's song Welcome to My World and performed during that group's concert in Seoul during their world tour. Wall Street Journal notes that Oracle stock has been on the rise as it is increasingly staking itself out as a neutral player to provide cloud services to developers looking to use various AI technologies. Oracle's built a lot of data centers in the past few years, so it's got newer hardware. That gives it an advantage, but it also is not providing its own AI services, unlike cloud competitors Microsoft, Google, and to a lesser extent Amazon. Even AI chip maker NVIDIA uses Oracle to train its own models. It uses its own models, but it uses Oracle data centers for that. Microsoft runs its Bing AI chatbot on Oracle servers. Oracle's pitch is that it isn't trying to upsell companies chips or other cloud services, so it's a hassle-free process. Now, the risk is that once a company has used Oracle to train its model, it could go run its model elsewhere. So they may not be able to take advantage of this boom for long. OpenAI, for example, trains some models on Oracle, but hosts its services with Microsoft Azure. Finally, sometime in December, Aurora will send one of its autonomous trailer trucks for 200 miles between Dallas and Houston without a safety driver on board. If all goes well, Aurora plans to scale up to dozens and eventually thousands of such trips. They've done these, but they always had a human safety driver. Ars Technica notes that a company called Gotic is working on shorter trips for box trucks with Walmart and Kroger, and Kodiak is also developing long-haul trucks similar to Aurora. Kodiak has contracts with industrial and military customers. Well, that is it for the Daily Tech Newsletter. Thanks to all the subscribers to today's show. Thank you for being along for the Daily Tech Newsletter. The show, or the newsletter, is made possible by our patrons at patreon.com/DTNS and our subscribers at DTNS.substack.com. If you'd like a live version of Daily Tech News Show or a podcast version of Daily Tech News Show, you can go to dailytechnewsshow.com or look for us on YouTube and Twitch. Find details and more about all of that at dailytechnewsshow.com. I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, so there you go. That's me reading the newsletter. I guess I should have played music under the end, shouldn't I? I'm going to send that to Amos. Test read. So what'd you think? Did it feel too much like Daily Tech News Show? Felt like Daily Tech News Show in a good way, bad way, no way at all. Anyway, good to see y'all. CR Poll, Ryan in Minneapolis, Two Dorks TV, Sean Keller, Salvino, 9PC, Miles Z. Good to see all of you hanging out. Yeah, I'm curious what you think of that little experiment. Sounded good to you? All right, I like that. I guess what I might start doing, it took me like 12, 15 minutes. I'd have to remember to, play the music, and I'd have to create an actual script instead of trying to ad-lib it and get it wrong. But what I might start doing, hey Jens, is including that to the Substack subscribers. And again, free on Thursdays, Monday through Friday for the thing. That's better than reading for a lot of people, like Ryan is saying. Is it bad that it's just me? I'm trying to do my best to keep it sounding interesting. It's a one-man show kind of vibe, similar to what Justin does on PX3. So I'm trying to keep that, keep it from sounding monotonous and like, why are we only hearing from this one guy? I'd like to actually put more stuff in it. That's why I sent it to Amos, because we talked about this and we're like, I wonder if we could dig up quotes or, for the Amazon story, a little bit of sound of Thursday Night Football. Yeah, CR Poll says, I prefer just you, really. Okay. All right. Definitely not bad that it's just you, because I delivered it well. Thank you. If it switched too much, it might be jarring. Okay, that's interesting. That's good. That's good feedback. I would think it might be better to have two different voices or more stuff. I think I'd still want to add sound to it where it's where it's appropriate. So, with James Earl Jones, put a little James Earl Jones sound in there. Not to flaunt it, but to be like, hey, let's remind you how great he sounds. Not that you don't know, but let's hear it. I think it would have been worthwhile there. And if we got a quote like Mark Zuckerberg said or Apple said, we could actually play the quote instead of having me read it. I think those are good. Have James Earl Jones' AI voice read the newsletter. Yeah. Maybe we just train 11 labs on my voice and have it read it that way. I was meaning two different voices on the same recording. Yeah. So I read a story, somebody else reads a story, back and forth. Yeah, I'm wondering, this is CNN and Verizon, all those places where he added licenses. I'm sure those will keep going. Happy Tuesday, Ernesto. Don't overthink it. All right. Yeah. We're slowly trickling out some of these ideas from the brainstorming. There's more to come. I still have to nail down everything after our presentation last week. But yeah, we're putting together some good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, how are you all? I think I've got everything for the show. We're going to talk about James Earl Jones passing and what that means for his license. He licensed a company in Ukraine. What is the company called? I feel like I've got it wrong in multiple places. I think I said Rescene, and I think it's Respeaker. Respeecher. Also, it changed Espa to Vespa. Yeah, let's change that. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have that virtual singing thing in GDI today. We're going to do the NFL thing, James Earl Jones, a little bit about the Apple stuff. Yeah, the Respeecher software they used for Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi was a Ukrainian company. They did it before the war started. I think they're still around. Miguel, I don't know that I'm going to get any new Apple products. My watch is working fine. So as tempting as it was, that new watch looks really nice. I like the small bezel and the design of it. None of that is so nice that I have to ditch a perfectly good, well-working watch. So I'm good with this. Eileen's watch can't make it through the day. She's probably going to get the new watch because her watch battery is on its last leg. She has a Series 4. So she's ridden that as long as you can go, I think. The phone, I have no temptation to get. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the Apple Intelligence stuff, and I might end up having to get it in order to test the Apple Intelligence stuff for work. But personally, as I need to have that in my life, nothing in there compelled me to do it. So if I do get the new phone, it is purely for work reasons. The AirPods look great, but my AirPods work fine. And there was nothing where I'm like, oh gosh, I must upgrade. So I'm probably not going to get new AirPods either. And my AirPods should get the upgrades because the AirPods Pro, I should get those hearing aid updates so I can try those. Yeah. So no, probably not going to get any new Apple products unless I buy through the company a new iPhone to test out Apple Intelligence. But Eileen has an iPhone 15. So I'm wondering if I can just make it through. I don't know though. I want to be able to have day-to-day interactions, be able to compare it side by side with Gemini because I have the Pixel Fold. So anyway, yeah. The new features on iPhone 16, well, the Apple Intelligence features, a lot of new features will be available right away as soon as iOS 18 drops. The Apple Intelligence features are coming in October. You're not going to have to wait very long. I know it's disappointing that launch day, when you get it September 20th or whatever, you're not going to have it, but you're going to get it pretty fast. It's going to be minimal features, but you're going to have them. So, if you can wait a month, I think if that's what you're holding off for, go ahead and get it. You'll get them in a month. If, however, you're like me, where you're like, I don't know, I could probably wait a year and see what else they come up with, then don't get it. iPhone 13 is not that old either, so I'm on a 14. Yeah, RCS coming will make it less annoying for all of us. That's a very good point, Clinton. All right, folks, that is going to do it for the office hours. I've got a barking dog. I don't know if you could hear him, who's ready for his lunch. So I got to go feed Seven the dog. Thanks for hanging out, though. Thanks for the feedback on this. This is really really helpful. I'm very, very, very glad to hear your feedback on that. More to come, especially if you're a newsletter subscriber. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.